Okay, so hello and welcome to Two Maggies Up Top, that Premier League podcast fueled by the Magnums. If you haven't already noticed, we've had to make a few alterations to the starting lineup. Our boy Pana Lowey is having to self-isolate, so can't be with us for the next few weeks. So we wish him well. As a result, Big Kes, normally striker, slid back to centre half, still at lower midfield, and we've got a brand new striker to produce for you today. Okay, so come on.
Come on.
So, if you don't already know, I'm your host, Big Kes, but today, man's Kes Morgan. Come on. Come on. Captain Kes for the day, come on. Alongside me, I've got my co-host, Big Lows, aka Lowey Barton.
Alright man, these intros always kill me.
What are you saying?
No, that one got me. That one got me.
What are you saying, man?
And I think I'm a writer. No, I'm good, man. No, that one got me.
Okay. Yeah,
Here again, obviously.
We go again.
I'm in the bubble on that.
Come on. Lovely to see you in the Invincible shirt. If I'm looking.
Thierry Lowey. Thierry Lowey.
Thierry Lowey. Okay, and to my right, we've got a very special guest and friend of the show.
Yes, sir.
It's F17 himself, Big Fred, aka Freddie Canute.
Nah, listen. It's your boy, Fred Asrifa, aka Best Any on FIFA.
Ooh.
Come on. AKA Sandro Tonali. Come on.
Hey, come on. And if you ain't heard that already, F17 Sandro Tonali, come on.
Now guys, happy to be here. Thank you very much. Obviously, it was right for me to step in today. Big Pans wasn't available.
Come on.
When I'm not any, he's any.
Ooh, yeah.
He's not any, I'm any. So I just thought, let me cover him in it. This first week that is not about.
And Fred is the sharpest shooter on pro clubs.
Come on.
The record speaks for itself.
Record speaks for itself, man. Come on. Goals and assists.
Come on.
Let's go.
But Fred, pleasure to have you on, man. And listen, we know you're a big AC Milan fan.
Yes, sir.
So even though it's a Premier League podcast, we could not bring you on and not speak about your team.
Yeah, man.
What do you make of the start so far, man? Top of the league?
Top of the league, it's ridiculous. I'm still in a phase where I don't want to get too gassed. As an AC Milan fan, we've been like the Spurs of Serie A for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So there's been bare times where we're doing well, we're going a good run, I get gassed, I start chatting in the group chat, and then things go left. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gassed right now. I'm just hoping that the season's long, innit?
Team's looking strong though.
Team's looking really, really good. Zlatan's changed the mentality of the team. Young players stepping up.
Big shout out to Zlatan. Man at 39.
39.
Top scorer in the league.
Bro, top scorer in the league. He's only got 6 games because obviously he gets hurt every 3 games.
Yeah.
So he's got
because in those 3 games, man's already got 7 goals.
he scores a brace every game. Yeah, it's crazy to see the difference. Like players that when he wasn't in were absolutely shambolic, and now they're playing outrageous football. And I'm just enjoying it right now and enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't lie, I'm actually slightly jealous.
Yeah.
Just,
sorry. Go on. Nah, so my question is, do you feel you can continue the form throughout the season and go on and actually push for the title, or what are you feeling?
I think so. I think this season especially, football is waved. Jet across the board. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a season to attack the titles this year, Juventus without Ronaldo have not won this year. They keep drawing and losing without Ronaldo, they're struggling. Pirlo, he's just new to the job. Like he don't know what he's doing right now. Inter's not doing really well, which I'm loving.
Napoli seem a bit.
You know what I'm saying? So they beat Roma the other day, so shout out to them. But we beat Napoli at their own home ground, which we hadn't done since 2010. And guess what? In that game, Zlatan scored. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Man scored in 2010, man scored in 2020. So I think this is the year where we need to go for it, man. 100%.
Yeah, well, listen, man. I'll be following the boys for you as well, man.
Come on.
Come on. But I see you got the Palace scarf on today.
Yeah.
The English contingent, Crystal Palace and that.
Repping Crystal Palace, obviously South London boy.
Do you know what I rate about you, Fred?
Yeah.
South London,
Yes.
living there, everything,
Yes.
and you support a South London team.
Yes.
Any of you South London man that supporting United, I'm at you right now. I'm at you right now.
Even worse than that, yeah. You man that are supporting Liverpool now.
You're
even worse, blood. You're even worse.
I'm seeing Utes, yeah. Walking Man City kids, fam.
You know you're lying.
You're lying, fam.
That's facts. Nah, supporting the boys. CPFC, come on, you Eagles.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Zaha FC, come on.
We'll get there in a minute.
We'll get to that.
We'll go to that.
Hey, but let's dive in, man. This week, only one place to really start, man. It's been a sad week for football, to be fair, with the loss of a few key individuals. First place I'm going to start is Diego Armando Maradona, man. Rest in peace to Diego, true legend of the game. Now, the truth is, for enough, man, especially in our generation as well, we didn't really witness Maradona, innit? Like, even when we were youths, he was at the end of his career.
Correct.
But from all the things I hear from the older generations, things I see that he could do with a ball, you look at the accolades, there's no doubting the legendary status of Maradona, man. Like, some of the things I've seen, the way that top players speak of him,
that's straight fact.
You just know. And for us, the modern day equivalent kind of would be like sort of Messi.
Correct.
And they make comparisons.
And but even when you look, but even when you make the comparison between the two, you look at it and you think, you look at Messi and you think, oh, he's won it all at Barcelona, but with Argentina, he does nothing. And people say, oh, the Argentina team's dead, but if you look at the Argentina team that won the World Cup in '86 when Maradona, fam, that team was dead.
He dragged that team,
He dragged the team. So that just shows you the levels. If we're looking at Messi as one of the GOATs today, then that for me just shows you the levels.
Maradona had to be levels. And I think Maradona's charisma as well off the pitch. Obviously, he had his up moments, down moments off the pitch, but his charisma added something to his personality and to his legacy. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Do you know what though? Ever since he passed away, I've read a few different things that I didn't know he went to Sevilla. I didn't know he was banned for a year. Yeah. So the problems have always been there, and I guess now when we've got support, and a lot of these people have more support. Back then they didn't have that, so obviously it's a big loss to football.
100%.
I mean, you mentioned charisma, and I think like with big characters like that, the plus side is what you see on the TV that you fall in love with, the character and stuff. But also that sort of ties into the negative side as well, which is the eccentric behaviour.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
but just a big up the New Zealand rugby team, by the way, because they played Argentina on the weekend. Yeah. And they had a New Zealand shirt with Maradona 10 on the back of it and laid it out for them, man. So listen, like Maradona is fully worldwide renowned.
100%.
New Zealand don't kick ball.
Exactly.
And they knew how important it was even to Argentinian rugby people. Do you know what I'm saying? So big up them as well for that, man.
And I think someone said it perfectly, and Messi said it, and a few others have said it, that people like Maradona, they are eternal.
100%.
These guys will live on because the impact he's had on so many people's lives.
Ridiculous.
He lives on, like, do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So rest in peace to Diego Maradona.
R.I.P. Maradona, man. Facts.
Another R.I.P. man. This is a sad one, to be fair. This guy probably nowhere near as well known as Maradona, but this guy played in the Prem. He scored an influential goal for Senegal actually in the 2002 World Cup, where they beat France.
Scored a screamer for Fulham. Remember the screamer?
Yeah.
Do you know, man, I was in Italy them times and they were showing that goal on Italian television.
Well, there you go. So the guy was speaking of his Papa Bouba Diop, man. And do you know what? Every loss of life is sad, but this one is even sadder in the sense that he was very young.
Yeah.
Maradona was 60 when he passed, which is still young, but Bouba Diop was 42.
Man.
A lot to live.
Yeah. It's again, man. It just shows you how priceless life is, man.
100%. Life is fragile, man. So you just gotta enjoy it, honestly.
So, R.I.P. to Papa Bouba Diop, man, as well. Literally. He played for a few clubs in the Premier League.
West Ham as well.
West Ham was in the Championship when they came out that season. Yeah, their promotion campaign. He played for Birmingham City in the Championship, last club in England. But he played for Portsmouth in the FA Cup on his side. And Fulham, like you said.
Yeah, Fulham.
And then maybe one other club, but my knowledge fails me on that one. But
man got about though.
He's a Premier League guy.
Premier League guy, man. So rest in peace to him, man.
Rest in peace.
So we're gonna move on to some more current issues in terms of I want to start with the Klopp rant, actually.
Yeah.
I watched his interview after the Brighton game, which we'll touch on the game later, but he had a few interesting points, but the interview itself was astonishing in the sense that I'm watching him go toe-to-toe with the interviewer. I'm thinking, wait, is this like some Royal Rumble thing? What? Like,
So what did you guys think of what he was saying?
Put it this way. I think that he's obviously got his own team's best interests at heart, primarily. But he's going to try to dress it as, care for all the players. I'm not saying he doesn't care for the players, but your main interest is your
Liverpool,
team.
Correct.
Yeah, and your players have to play in more competitions than most other guys.
Correct.
So the things you're campaigning for may or may not benefit others, but they'll mainly benefit your guys, which is why you're pushing for them, yeah?
Yes.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. You're the manager of Liverpool FC, so that's calm. With the 5 subs thing, we'll start there. I think there's 2 sides to the argument, and I get it. I get the fact that the players are playing more games now, and you can bring on an extra 2 subs. But I get the lower league teams like Chris Wilder saying that, listen, you man can bring on a whole different team, and you've got the depth to do that. For me, my thing is this, whatever the situation is, you just got to deal with it. You got to deal with it that's my thing. Just to watch him going to be moaning about it like that, I'm just thinking, I don't know, man. I like Klopp, but I think he's whinging a bit too much for me, man.
That I agree with. He is definitely whinging with, but I agree with what he's saying in the sense that in every other European side, so obviously, as I said, I support AC Milan. Every other European leagues, there are 5 subs. Ultimately, these are teams they go up against in Champions League, Europa League, etc. And if you look at the leagues at the moment that they do 5 subs in, for example, Real Madrid and Barcelona aren't necessarily doing that well. So that would kind of counteract Chris Wilder's statement. You know what I'm trying to say? And also, I do think that even though Klopp's kind of ranting on, he's got the players' best interest at heart because it's a mad thing. So obviously, I'm not a footballer, but I'm a sprinter. So if I think about it, like you're playing or you're running whatever in like Istanbul on Wednesday, and you're coming back to Liverpool on a Thursday, and then you're going up to Brighton on a Friday, and then Saturday 12:30 you got a game. It's mad. And football players are human beings; they're not machines.
True. I think.
To be fair, I'll be a machine at 150 games.
That's a good point.
But one thing, and that's actually facts. What you're saying, it's very logical as well. But I just think as well that it's not like these men are flying economy and they got 2 big dons either side and they squeeze up. These men, you know what I mean? They're not squeezed up on a plane, fam. You men are wrestling on the flights.
Imagine we're on a flight now, because it's in the middle.
You know what I mean?
I've got no leg room, man.
You come off, your hamstring's gone already from taking off the
You're
plane.
the armrest,
There's no armrest. You know when you battle for the armrest, but they're sleeping in that.
I kiss the type of guy that pretend he's sleeping. I kiss his teeth while he's sleeping as well.
This guy's actually out of me, fam. You know what I'm saying though? When these men are travelling though, they're travelling like, you know what I mean?
Private.
That's a good.
I still get it. It's still mileage, and you're right. You're not in your home, whatever. But I think it's obviously when he presents his argument, he's trying to present his case, so he's going to come from one angle. But I just think, you know what, he's got a point, and you're right. Because and as an athlete, you're in a very good position to speak of that. But I just think that also on top of that, that's the what's what I'm looking for. That's the result of success. If you want to play in Europe,
that's true.
And you're gonna play more games.
Comes with it. That's true.
And sometimes it's not like you're playing every week, Wednesday, Saturday, 12:30. It's some weeks you're gonna have to do that. And if you want to be the champ, you're gonna have to go and play more games and win more games. So
that's a good point. That is a good point.
I get what he's saying, I do, but listen, you're not the only thing that's got to deal with that. And I just think you've got to get on with it.
That I agree with.
You know
To Chris Wilder though, I'd say, bro, you're chatting the most, but your team's got 1 point and there's only 3 subs, innit?
Well,
so you know what I'm saying?
That's actually
really
facts,
truly.
You've had it your way 3 subs and you're still bottom of the table. So
allow it.
And to be honest with you, the flip side is also, because I want to come on Klopp's side as well. Is that you're saying that they've got an advantage, but surely if you can bring on more fresh man for yourself, they're gonna do a better job than
the tired man down the pitch right now.
Under these circumstances. So to be honest with you, there's 2 sides to every argument.
I agree.
But I just feel like I'm seeing Klopp ranting often.
I don't like that.
I don't like it. Like you say your thing, you make your point. Now go away. Let's not hear from you for a while and do
It's
your
one of
work.
them ones where you just drop that. Let me not talk too much.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Facts.
You've done your thing. Let me not talk too much after that, and then move on.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
But you know what I think was a clock though. Before moving from here, I think that he's actually this season.
Yes.
He's vexed at. Like last season, they won the league
Correct.
at Canada,
Facts.
and they had things go their own way.
Facts.
You had the 11 that many people agree was one of the best 11s. There was not many injuries,
Facts.
things. You know what I'm saying? Now this season, you've had your main guy Van Dijk injured. You've had the little things going against you.
Facts.
And it's like you're getting annoyed or whatever, and it's like you know what? I'm just gonna let's blow off some steam here.
And if you deep it, more time he blows off steam when they don't get the win.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? So because obviously they got the draw, and obviously we'll discuss that later. But you know what I'm saying.
So let's kick on. To be fair, another big thing happened this weekend was the Raul Jimenez injury, and there's been a lot of things now from the people speaking on concussion and. So listen, first and foremost, hope Raul Jimenez makes a full recovery, speedy recovery, and he can get back to playing at the same level as that. Because Raul Jimenez is a top striker, man. And, even though these men tucked us in this weekend, we'll get onto that. But yeah, we wish him a speedy recovery because he's a top striker. The interesting thing from that is that from that clash, David Luiz played on till half time. That's received a lot of backlash. And when I look at it now, when I saw him play. And I saw him, they took him off at half time. I'm thinking, was he okay to continue or what was it? Why did he play to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll make it easy for you. Yeah? Have you ever had a concussion?
No, not probably, nah.
Yeah, and I think when you have a concussion, and when you're, I guess maybe when your team needs you, and you got to look at it at different angles in it as well, different views. When your team needs you, you want to fight on, you ain't played last game, whatever, or you did play last game, whatever. You might want to stay on in there. Maybe it's more precautionary than anything.
But for the medical professionals that are there, is that your call though?
But you can't. If I'm concussed, I'm not always going to show signs in it.
Okay.
And I might be seeing blurred vision.
But you're not saying.
doesn't mean you know I'm seeing as a medical assistant. Okay. So I could be dropping the whole. I'm calm. Like you can name quick test whatever they do, and you carry on playing. And then after that, they might see certain things at a couple minutes down the line where they can't walk.
So my question on that then, not to cut you, but does that mean then that the protocols in place are not sufficient? Because if you're telling me you can skirt around them and give me some answers that I want to hear, whatever, does that mean that the protocols that are there are not sufficient enough to keep the players safe in themselves?
I think there's certain things where you can't maybe determine what the other person, what's going on in the other person's brain as such.
So you're relying
on honesty, and then you try and do your best you can. I might be wrong, and I'm not a professional in welfare and in that industry, but that's how I see it. And I think for me, like, I've had concussion and tried, and then you're like, nah, I'm detrimental, innit? So, boy, like, do you know what? Big up Louise, I don't know what happened in it, but big you up for even trying. Stay on.
That's fine.
I think one of the things they said though, if they had like concussion substitutes where you allowed an extra sub when concussion occurs, there'd be no pressure on the player to actually have to stay on. You can go off when it's safety first all the time.
I hear that. I didn't even know that. I think holistically though, it doesn't do football any favours because I know that a couple men from the 60s have now got dementia and they're now saying obviously they're trying to reduce heading from the football, you know what I'm saying? So obviously wish Jimenez a speedy recovery, but this doesn't do football any favours holistically.
You're right, 100%. And like you said, that's from only heading the ball, that's not even head-to-head collision. So,
exactly.
Yeah, 100% right, man.
Also, them balls were bare different back then, you know.
They were.
See, them balls were tough, you know.
Tough. Them balls were tough.
I'm crying, yeah. So I just flew my iPhone.
Man's feeling for the man in the 60s.
My left eye is hurting, fam. I can just feel a persistent scratch.
Hey, I don't know.
It's true. But yeah, we wish Jimenez a speedy recovery.
100%, man.
Real.
And hopefully he's back playing soon.
Facts.
Another thing I want to touch on quickly is the, I don't know if you might saw this, the Cavani post on social media. Now, I'll get your man's take on this.
We've got a lie,
yeah?
I might need an update.
Okay, no, I'll give you the update because a few men might not seen it as well. That's fine.
Detox.
So basically Cavani put up a post that's received some backlash. And basically what it was is someone's posted to him saying, well played or whatever it was. And he's replied on the story saying, gracias negrito or negrito. Someone I know I speak Spanish can understand that one. Right. So the argument now on his behalf is that the translation is little black person or something, but basically in Uruguay it's apparently the equivalent of saying like mate. So that's like That show, but it might. Well, in fact, we'll get my opinion for now. But that's apparently it's like the done thing. It's like the equivalent of saying thanks, mate, whatever.
I can tell you the opinion. That's absolute bullshit.
No, but so here's the thing. Because I'll give you my take on it.
Yeah.
I don't think that he was intentionally being racist.
Yes.
It's more a culture clash and a bit of ignorance. Right?
Ignorance, yeah.
Yes.
However, because he's not going to get off that line with it. Because my thing is this, right? First of all, in my opinion, it shows how deep-rooted the racism is in some of these places. That those terms are just normal. Normalised. But I'm not going to get onto him for that because if you come from there and that's where you speak, that's how you speak.
Yeah.
But my thing is that number one with Cavani, you've played in Europe long enough to know, that how to speak in your local town, area, country, whatever, is not universally accepted. That's what I personally think. Right? That's the first thing. The second thing is that being a player in the public in the public eye as well, it's like, let's say for instance you come from Croydon, and in Croydon you've got some lingo where it's like, okay, we say whatever. But now you're in the public eye doing interviews.
Yeah.
You're not losing your lingo from Croydon to the whole world because you know that that's what talk with the man them and whatever. It doesn't always work out like that. So my thing is that being someone that's in the public eye, you have to be informed when you're putting out posts, because it's not like you got 40 followers and you're just posting to the random. Right?
Alright.
So for me, there has to be either a team around you that's either like aware or you've got to take it upon yourself to be informed. So I'm not saying that Cavani is racist. I'm not. But I'm saying it's still an error in judgment, drastically. That's my opinion.
I hear you. So I think I'm in a decent position to speak on it. With my experience from Italy. So obviously the point you make about being in Europe is very interesting because funnily enough, the culture in Europe and the culture in England is very, very different. So, for example, the racism that I may have suffered in Italy wasn't always because people were racist, but it's because they were ignorant. So, to them, in fact, not too long ago, actually, a sports presenter got sacked from an Italian sports TV show because he said that the only way to stop Lukaku was to give him 2 bananas. Now he thought he was complimenting.
That was a newspaper,
no, that was on television.
Oh, television.
Live TV. So he thought he was complimenting Lukaku. Little did he know that that was very offensive. Point being, it's the ignorance is that deep rooted all over Europe. So I think that Cavani has to take responsibility because now he's in a different country and he has to learn the culture. But more so, even the people at Manchester United, all his staff around him need to let him know that, or need to inform him on the current climate, especially with the whole BLM thing going. Like, these things are not acceptable. So someone has to take responsibility for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think about.
At your big age, as in not you, you need to know innit. You got enough money to pay your team to be suicidal. But also, that guy that said that about the bananas and the Lukaku thing. Unless he's playing Mario Kart, I don't know how the bananas are stopped. It's negative. Because more time, bananas that slow release energy and all that. I don't get what he means.
It's
so
a joke.
It must be trying to distract him from what he's doing.
Basically, that's what he said. The only way to stop Lukaku is to distract him by giving him 2 bananas.
That's simply racist.
That's
no compliment behind it.
This is a man who's worked on television for a number of years, so he wouldn't just put his job on the line like that. He thought he was
because it's just so dumb.
This is the thing. So this is the thing. So Cavani's come out and apologise and fair play to him. But my thing is, the most important thing is the education.
Facts. No, that's fact.
It's the education. It's not a case of like vilifying him and because I think sometimes you can rush to that and it's like people apologise before they even know what they're apologising for.
Facts.
So he has to know and understand why it can be offensive and how he can move forward from that.
I agree with you, 100%.
But you know, that takes us into the first game I want to touch on because Cavani actually ended up being a hero, which is why the post came. And I know United fans were loving this game, to be fair. Southampton Man United.
My team let me down.
Interesting game. And I'll tell you, I'll be real because look, I was one of them ones that was singing on United's downfall a bit early and took a bit of backlash.
We saw it in the group chat.
You was deflecting because you're in pain for your own team? That's what happens.
That's what people in pain do, you know what I'm saying?
Understandable.
But it ended up being a good game. Ward-Prowse again on the set pieces. Having Ward-Prowse on the set pieces like penalties, like the free kicks are like pens.
I've got a good start on Ward-Prowse. Pana would be proud.
Come on.
So Ward-Prowse is the 12th best free kick taker from direct free kicks in Premier League history.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? One behind Frank Lampard.
Wow.
Oh, right.
So
Pana be crying there.
yeah, so big up Woodward. He makes it look easy, but it's not
Makes
easy.
it
I'm
look
not gonna lie
so
though,
easy.
yeah. Listen, I'm not taking nothing away from it.
Yeah.
But De Gea's actually a pussy, you know. You're a goalkeeper on like 200 bags. And you stop talking about it, you don't talk about it. Man half-heartedly went to save it because of the post,
The
innit?
post a bit close,
You
yeah.
should.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I remember Zidane, yeah?
Yeah.
One game he dived and headed, yeah? When he dived, yeah, man dived into the post.
Yeah.
That's the commitment I want to see from
I hear
on that
that.
money, yeah?
I hear that.
Because let's be honest, De Gea's probably on more money now than what Zidane was back then.
That's
Real Madrid
probably
probably
right.
was.
I agree.
I need to see something. Listen, nothing taken away from Wall Prowse, but he's a pussy. De Gea's a pussy. He's a pussy.
Nah, I hear that. I hear that. I hear that.
I'll be real, yeah. So obviously United come out second half,
Yeah.
2-0 down. I said this about Solskjaer. When he is under pressure, he turns into prime Fergie.
Facts.
Yeah? He turns into some prime.
Fact.
But here's the thing. Sorry to cut you. Here's the thing. He bought on Cavani in second half, and this is to go back to the point that Pana mentioned last week.
Yeah.
He bought on Cavani in second half, and Cavani and Fernandes did the bit in the second half, right?
Facts.
Why is Cavani not starting?
Trust me.
That is honestly
Trust me.
baffling.
Trust me.
It bemuses me because I know Cavani even scored a good goal for Uruguay during international break, and I think United are crying out for that type of centre forward. The first goal that he scored was like a nothing ball. Like I think Fernandes shot and he took a deflection. Man just dived in like a madman, slapped it in.
Yeah.
Second goal, like the ball's kind of low, but he's still got his head on it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what United are crying.
Yeah.
Showing his
But
class.
You see the movement in the box.
See
as
the
well,
movement in the box,
yeah.
vintage Cavani.
Vintage
You know what I'm
Cavani,
saying? So
yeah.
it asks the question of Solskjaer, like, does he really know what he's doing?
Well, that's the thing. And my question to you is, can Cavani have that Ibrahimovic effect at Man United? Do you feel he can have that sort of impact, or?
I don't think so. Funnily enough, I don't think he's charismatic enough.
Okay.
And I mean, he might prove me wrong, but I'd like to see him do that consistently.
Yeah.
I was quite a big critic of Cavani when he was at PSG. Towards his latter years,
Yeah.
I thought he was a little bit washed, but he did his thing over the weekend, and I'd like to see him do it consistently, personally.
Fair.
Personally.
What do you reckon, Cavani? I mean, I don't know if he speaks much. He speaks much English. I don't know if he
To be
speaks-
fair, he's not being given the opportunity, and
That's true.
until you get the opportunity, you can't really do
Right,
much.
yeah.
And you got
That's
two crucial goals when your team's struggling.
That's true.
And
That's
to
true.
be fair, if you're world class, which a lot of people will say he is, you got to be doing them things, and he done it.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
And obviously, I'm upset that Southampton didn't do the thing, but
Yeah, facts.
obviously that shirt's gonna be put on hold for now.
Yeah, I think it's more paper over the cracks for Manchester United.
That's-
man.
but
once
this is-
again.
That is the point I want to make. It's paper over the crack. And this is a Southampton team that have done well.
Yeah.
Why
But
do
I'm
you put paper
missing.
over cracks?
Hmm?
Well,
Why
would
do
you
you put paper?
to not show the cracks,
It's
innit?
cracks, innit?
I thought you paint over cracks.
If you paint,
it's the same.
if you paint over cracks here, the cracks are still there, innit?
I mean, you paint over cracks. If there's a crack in here in the wall, I can paint over it. You won't see it.
No, but, yeah, no, you put paper over it because it flattens the surface.
Oh, so we don't plaster it.
No, but that's plaster. But you're talking
so-
about paint.
These I've been saying paint over cracks for time. It's new to me, bro. What is paper?
Yeah, because look, feel this way.
It makes sense. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. You can imagine. These don't think it's paint.
Yeah, me thinking as well.
I see. How you thinking of it?
I thought I was even gonna say, fam. This guy just threw me off, fam. No, but that's paper over cracks.
Yeah.
Paint. Answer paint as well. Obviously, you don't want to
And
paint.
paint. Paper and then paint.
Because
But this is the thing.
if your wall's cream and you got the white paint, no, joking.
You don't want to go paint.
No, but this is what I'm saying about paper over cracks because
Yeah.
Southampton are doing well,
Yeah.
but they're missing their main striker Danny Ings.
Facts.
They're playing Walker up front,
Facts.
and they're playing and they're missing Nathan Redmond as well, right?
Oh.
Right. So look at United. I looked at the United lineup. They're playing all their main guys.
Facts.
Bar Pogba was injured.
Yeah.
Van der Beek was in there.
Yeah.
Rashford, Greenwood, whatever.
Martial.
You're looking at it thinking the Man United should go there and they should beat them, and they did in the end just.
Yeah.
But the first half, they started all right. As soon as they conceded, heads dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looked like Southampton could have gone and scored X, Y, Z amount of goals.
Facts.
So for me, the fact that they came back last minute, fair play to Cavani, he saved the day, but there's more issues there than problems solved for me. You know what I'm saying?
I would definitely agree with you still. I think it required hats off to United first of all.
100%.
United fans should be happy that they was fighting the team
100%.
and they got the result back. But there are major issues at the club
Major issues.
that needs to be solved. if they want to get anywhere, man.
Yeah, 100%.
To be honest.
But my message to United, please keep Solskjaer. Just keep it. Keep it for a little bit longer.
Do you know what? Do you know? I just feel like it's a funny one because each time they're struggling, he pulls out the bag.
Yeah,
man.
it's
So,
true.
But does that mean that the players just kind of care for him, so they when his job's on the line, they step up?
if that's the case, then more shame on them because you've got a job to do and you're getting paid for. The affection of the manager shouldn't be in it. You've got to do your job in it. So,
I agree with you.
but the thing is for United, before we move on from them, is that I think that the reason why I feel a lot of United fans are deluded, and I'll say it's openly, is because I feel that they used to a lot of success under Fergie,
Yeah.
and he was a great manager. He's done a lot for them.
Correct.
But they've struggled to adapt to life after him.
Yeah.
And because most of them support United because of his success,
Yes.
now they're unsuccessul, they don't know how to convert back to a London team. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
So they're like, oh, we're stuck with United now.
Fit, yeah.
So now, so
yeah.
now they're supporting Man United without the perks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's just double
Yeah,
dead.
it's like you working for your company
Yeah.
and you get free travel and whatever,
Yeah.
and that's why you're working for the company, yeah.
Correct.
Then the company say, you know what, big man, I can't afford the free travel no more, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
listen, but you don't like working for the company.
Yeah.
So now,
Now,
you're getting a dead job with no perks on. So these men are like, ah, shit, I don't have to leave, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to start United, fam. Yeah, that's why these men will sing about history and that from, yeah, so, but let's move on from them, man. Well done on the winning that, but we moving it, we move. Next game is City Burnley.
Yes.
And City, they started the season kind of slow, innit? Like in a sense.
It's derby sometimes.
Yeah,
good,
in the sense
sometimes
that
horrible.
it's not been a City that we know of recent years. They've not been scoring many goals. It hasn't looked as fluid as it normally does.
Yeah.
But this weekend they scored 5 against Burnley. Now,
Do you know what though,
Yeah.
I'm sure if I look at stats here, these men been brushing Burnley for years.
Well, I was just about to say,
Exactly.
They've been brushing Burnley for years.
These man beat Burnley 5-0
Yeah.
at home every single season.
for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So it's,
Every single
And also,
season.
they got it tomorrow. They got I think last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And next time, man scores a hat trick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So what I was going to actually ask you, man, is this City back on track, or is this just standard fixture against Burnley where they score 5 and they move on? What are you guys thinking? Like?
My opinion is that Burnley's done out. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to City, this is expected.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And again, I think it's paper over the cracks. I think this season and the following, obviously, Pep signed a new deal, and these following years are going to show how good Pep Guardiola really is.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? When the team is not sensational, you're throwing money at it, but it's not really working. Let's see how good you are. That's my thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And also, I've got to say, Gabriel Jesus. I've been a critic of his from the beginning.
Okay.
Man, I don't think he's good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, his stats, goals per game look decent, but so did Kelechi Iheanacho, like you guys have previously mentioned.
Yeah.
Put Gabriel Jesus at a Leicester or at a Leicester team.
What's he doing?
Man's not doing it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
to be fair, you've shown that you actually listen to the podcast.
Exactly.
So props to you innit, for that one. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah,
for it,
yeah,
totally.
yeah.
There's no. When they get against Burnley, they just need to brush them. They
Facts.
brush them up. I think Burnley is almost it's a damage limitation where you know you're gonna lose, but you're trying to damage limit the damage.
I agree.
And apart from that, there's nothing really else for me to add on that.
Well, this is an interesting thing because before we kick on, it's an interesting fact about Pep as a manager, right? Is wherever he's been able to throw cash at the job and get the job done.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're right, now he's going to be tested because now we're going to see what you're made of with the
Facts.
management you've got.
Facts.
The fact is, he spent P on his squad, yeah?
Facts.
There's no reason for you to be in a situation where the management are not that great.
That's facts.
Yeah, because I've watched, I said it before, Wenger take flack for years,
Yeah.
with doing a job with his hands tied behind his back.
Yeah.
You can't sign the top guy, you can't sign whatever, and he made mistakes, but you've seen how he has to develop players, whatever, and I think like, when Pep came in, he came in on the Guardiola hype where he's the best manager, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's made Sterling into a better player
Yeah,
and a few other
100%.
players.
100%.
And I think people are just riding away with him. So what I really want to see with him is what he does now.
Facts.
What he
Yeah,
does now.
I
Because
agree.
you can't go spend 200 million in January. So how do you rally these guys now to
Exactly.
do something this season? Because there's no reason really why they shouldn't be challenging again for the league.
That's
Because
100%.
The league now is open for any man.
Yeah.
Open.
Just the last one
So-
for me. I've got to big up Ferran Torres, you know, because
Yeah.
man's come from
Yeah.
Spanish league
Yeah.
and come to the Prem,
And he's doing bits.
and he's doing bits,
Yeah.
and it's not a joke to when you come to the Prem.
That's facts. I thought he was dead, but he's proving me wrong. You know what I'm
Trust trust me. No, I agree. Trust me. So big up you, man. Big up you.
No, that's facts. But yeah, let's see how Pep does in the following couple of years. I think that's going to be a big thing.
Let's kick on anyway. We mentioned Klopp's rants.
Yes,
and
sir.
like we said, there was another one this weekend.
Yeah.
Brighton, Liverpool. Now, we speak about Brighton quite a bit on here. Because they often come up in the relegation conversation.
Yeah.
Relegation.
Relegation.
And one of them ones where obviously we're speaking of being in trouble and Nick feels we're a good enough team to escape it.
Yeah.
This game again is another example of what we've been saying of Brighton, which is they play well. Like in the early stage of this game, they should have scored. They missed a pen through Mope.
Yeah.
They've had a few chances. They're playing good football, but they don't capitalise.
Fuck Mope.
Yeah, I agree. First of all, Mope, you're a fantastic fool. You know what I'm saying? I got man on my fantasy team. He gave me -1 point.
No,
you know what?
Man said Mope's the fool, yeah? This guy's got him in his team.
Bro, they got him on the cheek.
I thought, like, ain't got much money left. Like.